Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy here, and welcome back to another episode of the Tacho Show. So, we've got the official announcement here for the upcoming Hall of Forms, which is going to be Radiant Dawn themed. And over here, we've got Heather, we got the Sanaki and Micaiah duo, we got Legendary Elincia, and then we have Zelgius there. All of these are the ninja alts besides Elincia. So, are any of these units actually worthy of using a Form of Soul? I would say no. Like, just straight up. Not really worth it, even though you see a Legendary Elincia there and you may be thinking, oh, she's a bonus unit for Arena every now and again. Yes, she is, but she also is completely useless and can't do anything in Arena. So, it really is a moot point having her as a bonus option. The only good thing that comes of it is that you don't have to fish for fights, really, which, I mean, depending on how you look at it, that may or may not be relevant to you. But as far as which one of these units is actually the best to go for, assuming you are planning to use a Form of Soul, regardless of my warnings here, I think Sanaki and Micaiah are actually the best. They actually got really lucky in terms of what skills they can inherit and what skills they're good at using here. So I would say they're in first place. Second place, I have to give it to Elincia just out of sheer resourcefulness of her being a legendary bonus unit, which is going to give her the one-up on Zelgius, who I think would be in second place otherwise. So we have Zelgius, who's the token armored unit. Obviously, armored units have access to great skills. And in last place, RIP, we have Heather there. I would really love to get Khalil in the game as well, since we finally were able to get Heather way back when this banner came out. There's still a couple of units from Radiant Dawn that aren't in Fae that I would still love to see, and Khalil would be one of them. So, yeah, Heather, unfortunately, though, is not really all that good. The main thing she had going for her back then was that she could use an assist and move again, which pretty much everyone and their mama is able to do that now. So, that's my breakdown on the rankings here. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at the builds now. So, like I said, I think the duo Sanaki and Micaiah are actually the best option. Teapot is a pretty solid weapon from the Tea Time Saline that we got last year. It gives you a bonus action when you use your assist, and then it also has potentially 25 true damage, which is obviously very good. So, a nice DPS option, and then also a good support option too with the bonus action. Logic, very good special, and should pretty much be the go-to for all of your mages. Attack Resaria, also a pretty good skill, and with Logic being a 5-hit special, you can maximize it. Attack and Res Detect Aerial, which is actually a really nasty B skill. You don't really see the aerial skills all that often, but they actually work out really good if you can use them. You need to have a high res stat, but if you do, it's just map-wide exposure on all of the enemies that have less res than Sanaki, which is going to be a lot considering this unit has a really fat res stat there. And then we got Attack and Res Liberate, obviously, which is pretty good just for support. You get Attack and Res Liberate the status effects. Sly Echo would be the Echo skill of choice for this unit because it just gives them extra DPS. And I'm not showing a completed build anymore. I'm not going to show the Sacred Seal, which could be whatever you want it to be. I think last time we got a little bit of pushback on that because of me showing off Echo skills, and then people were kind of complaining, like, okay, I don't plan to give Echo skills to these Forma units. It's just whatever I get in Hall of Forms is pretty much what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to be a little bit more mindful of that this time around, and we'll try to streamline a little bit better. So these would definitely be the primary skills you want to go for on this unit, though, by the way. And they also use the Lin Ring pretty well because you can pop the style first, and then after that, you're able to pop the Ninja Duo button to get the other action. Okay, these would be the secondary skills you want to look for. Ice Wall, obviously not as good as Logic, but it can still work out, and it gives them non-pierceable DR, which is good. Crystalline Water gives them the visible stats to attack and res, which works out pretty good with Instruct, which is basically the best C skill in the game, I want to say. It just does way too much for a C skill, and it's just all around. It works on practically any unit that's got good visible stats, and then you're getting great talent to yourself and allies, and then you're also getting bonus stats based on the amount of great talent. So it's really hard to argue with Instruct. And then Attack Res Favor, which can also combo well with Teapot. You go ahead and you pop your assist, and then you're able to get the bonuses to your allies, and then you're pretty much good to go after that. So Far Trace Echo, also the other optional Echo skill if you just want to get Kanto on them, which on a build like this they would not have natural access to. So yeah, I would say they're definitely in first place. Let's go ahead and move on to Elincia, who is in second place. Now, her weapon is really not that good, but she is going to end up getting a refine and remix soon, I think. I mean, when is soon when it comes to Fae refines? I don't know. But she is going to get one, and at that point, she's probably going to be a whole lot better. But as things stand right now, not only is her preference weapon Absolute Amity, more like absolute ass, you might as well just give her Arena Sword or Serving Knife, and then even her C skill is pretty power crept too, where it just gives you like a rain debuff on the enemies. It does all stats -4, and then you're giving Null Follow-Up as a start of turn bonus, and then also you're letting allies warp. All that stuff is whatever at this point, because this is just better skills. Strat Assault is just straight up a better version of her C skill. You're giving True Charge to allies, she gets +1 movement, and then you're giving that crazy Crux debuff on the enemies, which is nice. Heavenly Soar should be absolutely obvious. It scores 400 SP, and then you get the pass and warp combo, which is insane. And then Blue Sky Gust, I would say, is the go-to A skill. She does have Kanto 2 on her weapon, but Blue Sky Gust gives you Kanto Distant, which is better. So those would be the go-to picks. And then Arc Rival, best DPS option for her special, also including the fact that she has a color. So that's going to work out. Keep in mind, though, Shatter Slash is a really good special as well, and it would work out pretty good on Elincia, but she's not able to get it yet because Shatter Slash was part of the most recent banner, and those skills are not going to be available in Hall of Forms yet, very sadly. So, primary skills right there. Here would be the secondary skills. Serving Knife gives you a bonus action off your assist, which is good. Gale Force Mist, another cool special for her. If you can find a way for her to kill something in Arena, which it may not be entirely impossible. You still see a couple of units that you can blow right past. Like, there are the occasional Grommel units or Ninja Lucinas that this Elincia can beat. Also, legendary Veronica, who is in the same season as Elincia, so you may run into her, which would be a prime Gale Force target. So, Gale Force Mist is actually okay. Attack Speed Airspace is the secondary A skill. It's not as good as Blue Sky Gust, but it's the next best thing, and it's okay. And then favor skills, obviously, you can go ahead and pop your assist, just buff your allies, and have Elincia stand there doing nothing like she's supposed to. And then just to accentuate that fact, Null Uplift gives you the Drive Crux buffs, and then also Drive Null Follow-Up to allies in 3 columns and 3 rows. And then Crux Echo, you want to go for this. Echo skills on this unit is kind of questionable, though, overall, because when she gets remixed, if her C skill and weapon are good enough, you're not really going to want to run, or you're not even going to be able to run Echo skills at that point. So just keep that in mind. The Echo skills are good temporarily, but then once she gets remixed, probably not so much. And then just another example of a support build here. Arena Sword, Arc Rival. This time we've got the Byleth Ring, so she can dance allies now, which is good. Verge of Death gives her better visible stats, so that Instruct works out better. Execution Breath scores 400 SP, so it could be an option, but so does Heavenly Soar, and is just straight up better. So keep that in mind. And then just another example Echo skill that would work out on her, but I wouldn't sweat Echo skills too much on this unit, because like I said, once she gets refined, they're not really going to matter that much. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Ninja Zelgius up next. So, as the token armored unit, obviously, the Shield Fighter save build is going to be the one to go for. Diluvial Boost is still kind of the best armor A skill we've got access to, unless you want to offense, which there is another option, which we'll show in just a sec. Armored Flare should be the go-to for this guy. It's either that or Armored Ice Cap, and since he's got better visible defense, Armored Flare is just better. Gives him attack and defense great talent, gives him 2 instances of non-pierceable DR on the enemy's attacks, and straight up just gives him his raw defense as true damage when it procs. So that should be the go-to. Johanna Lance, sad enough. I mean, he kind of got cucked a little bit, because just like Elincia, where Shatter Slash would have been really good, the new Demote Lance unit that we recently got, Noish, on the FE4 banner, his Lance is actually pretty good, and would have been fantastic on Ninja Zelgius, but it's not going to be available in Hall of Forms yet. But it's not that hard to summon a copy of that Noish and then just give his Lance to Zelgius, because that guy is just going to be a 3- and 4-star demote. So a certain upgrade to Johanna Lance to look out for if you're going to pick this guy up. Obviously, his assist should be any of the gates: Swap Gate, Repo Gate, Drawback Gate, whatever floats your boat. That's the one you go for. And then any save, pretty much whichever save you like the best. I would say physical save or near save would be the priorities, particularly Briar, as opposed to Twin, because you're already getting the double proc of the non-pierceable DR on Armored Flare anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I would say go for the Briar save skills and either physical or near, and then if you must give him an Echo skill, then DC Echo is the way to go. Obviously, his special is not going to get refined at all, so even if he does get an upgrade, a remix in the future, he's not going to get one for his special, so feel free to just give him an Echo skill if you want. All right, secondary option here. Melee Lance is the Lance from Franz, and it's okay. It's got a 3-column and 3-row debuff on the enemies, and then it's got a sizable amounts of true damage. So it's an okay weapon, but I wouldn't say it's as good as the Noish weapon, unfortunately. So this is also an option here. I like doing this right now for my arena armors. Just give them Strat Flame and Strat Assault and just have them player phase. Because if you could sit them in the back with a save skill, they're not save tanking shit, unfortunately. Like, Duo Balder is just going to fly right in and crap all over any of your armor save units. So there's no point in even bothering. And then Duo Freya with Lin Ring is also another problem. So, yeah, just don't even bother. If you're going to really run armors in Arena, just do this, pretty much. And then we got Edelgard Ring with Arc Rival. He is also able to use Arc Rival because he's got a color. But I would still say Armored Flare would be the go-to. And then Sly Echo for some extra DPS there. And then this is basically just the exact same build as the first one, but I did want to show off Pair Up as an option for the save skills. So this time, Briar near save and Pair Up. Pair Up if you don't want to run Shield Fighter, because Pair Up would be the other best option and doesn't force you into running Pavis or Aegis. So keep that in mind. And yeah, this is not really a completed build, just showing you what skills you want to go for. Because obviously, Shield Fighter, you want Pavis and Aegis, but there's no point in picking those up in Hall of Forms because they're very easy to get. And then finally, we have Heather, last but not least. So Winter Trinket is the dagger from the Winter Zelkov. It's actually a pretty solid weapon. It gives you a nice Crux buff to allies, and then it's also got just flat 20 true damage and 10 DR. So you can't really go wrong with this, although the Arcane Soth from the seasonal banner, his dagger is probably a little better if you want to go for that, but I wouldn't really recommend it. So we have that, and then Micaiah Ring gives her another action off of her assist. This time we've got Reposition Gate, so she can go ahead and pop that and then get a little Kanto action. Attack Speed Waylay, which sadly is still like one of the better dagger options for the A skill. Disarm Rumor, which is also on that Soth. So if you were to give her the Arcane Soth weapon, it would also come with Disarm Rumor, so you may want to factor that into your foddering, like, chain, whatever you're trying to go for there. And then Active Lookout. Heather also got cucked, just like Zelgius and Elincia, where we do have recent skills that would work out really good, and Assault Rush would be perfect on this Heather. It's on the baby Edelgard, but it's not going to be available in this round of Hall of Forms, sadly. So just go for either Active Lookout or Active Smog. Both of them are pretty good, but I would just say go for Lookout, because it'll work out a little better with her own weapon. It has Desperation built in, and her own weapon does have Brave Attacking, and also her own weapon is slightly viable. It's not really that crazy. It only gives her a bonus action if using a Rally and not a movement assist, so you gotta run a Rally skill on her, but it still does give her that extra action, and then you're free to do stuff like this yet again. Just run Verge of Death, raise your visible stats, and then run Instruct, and then run Favor. So she can pretty much just be a cheerleader in the back, not have to do anything, and just support the team, give your allies some buffs. So yeah, very, very bread and butter build. Anyone can use something like this pretty much. So get used to seeing these on future Hall of Forms builds, mainly because Instruct is so crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything for these builds for Hall of Forms. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, let me know if you preferred the format I did before, where I actually showed finished builds as opposed to just showing like the primary skills you want to target. And I tried to at least keep them cohesive though, so like a lot of these skills are still going to work as builds, but they're not like completely 100% finished builds. I didn't show Sacred Seals, just go with whatever seal you want. So yeah, just let me know which format you prefer in the comment section down below. And once again, I reiterate, if you're going to pick somebody up, I would say Sanaki has the most value. But honestly, I don't think any of these units are worth it. So take that as you want. This is your boy Tacho signing out. And I will catch y'all again on the flip side.